Here we have these wall niches. It's difficult to know exactly what they were for. I'll put my head inside one, and it's not that rushing noise that you get when you put your head inside that one, like in the Luxor temple, and also the temples at Saqqara. You can see how they've repaired the blocks, the crisp new cement juxtaposed with the old. Look at the size of that beam up there. In fact, it's very reminiscent of some of those beams in the temples in Malta. And here we have some very interesting cut blocks. See how the blocks are fitted? How they're keyhole cut to slide together and lock without cement. More examples here. In fact, this whole wall is of that style. And here we have some more of those interesting linking sections where the steel was poured to hold the blocks together. The steel or metal, or whatever metal it was, long since gone. But interesting to see it here with the cut stones in that same style like in South America. Again, there's some more of those cut sections here in the top of the wall. And you can see there's nobody in the guard box. I suppose they need to guard just me and that beautiful view there, down out of Luxor, towards the Nile. Wow, look at this stone. The different strata. In fact, it's a totally different type of stone from all the other stones here. And for it to actually be here means that's actually important. The Egyptians were experts in the use of various stones, and I think that deserves closer scrutiny. In fact, that wall just there looks like it's made from alabaster. And in fact it is. In fact, this whole thing I'm standing on, as you can see, it's made from alabaster. Alabaster is notoriously difficult to work with. One slip of the chisel and you've undone like 3 weeks' work. For there to be so much alabaster here in this particular location, it looks like it was some kind of statue that was here, but it's in a terrible state of repair. In fact, by comparison, these stairs look rather rough. That's interesting. These holes are generally in a position where some kind of hinge or swivel joint was used. And that beautiful little carving there showing all those unks growing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with 2 broken and dead ones. As I say, everything in these temples is significant. So that is clearly significant, that you had 7 reduced to 5. And further up, you can actually see the emblem of Venus, 5-pointed star of Venus. See a modern steel lintel here used to hold up the temple. How the ancients managed without, and we the modern people have to use steel. You have to ask yourself, who is the more advanced? Look at that massive piece of stone up there, not dissimilar to the one at Teotihuacan. And this whole wall here has alcoves cut into it. And if you look at this stone here, it has quite a concave shape to it. Sandstone. As if it's come down from one of these lintels and just been left to rest here. They have these connectors here, and the purpose is to show if the stone is moving to any degree. You can see how the columns are now quite square cut. And how these figures have been chipped out. In fact, most of the figures seem to be chipped out. Different styles of chipping out. You can see that one has rather long chips, whereas that one's been done with short strokes. Have here some more of those griffins that you see quite a lot of in Aswan and the Philae temple. There's another one of those plants with dying stalks. This one only has 5. This is another piece of alabaster here. Actually used to be some kind of sculptures, I would think. Here we're going up modern red brick stairs to see what we can see. Quite good view over the temple. The ancient and modern juxtaposed. Looks to be some kind of pool over there. But we will see when we head off over there. This is the Roman ramparts that go along the whole top of the structure. Just imagine a Roman legion marching along here in formation. I listened today to that talk by Christopher Dunn on red ice, and here we have modern electrical cables that don't seem to compare in any way to the ancient electrical cables he was talking about. Seems to be an awful lot of these winged gods everywhere here from the lintels, which would indicate that this temple was really quite grand. We call it a temple, but we don't know what it actually was. we just assume everything to do with ancient Egypt is to do with religion. But we know how much religion features in our life, so wonder how it featured in theirs. This is alabaster here. All the way around is alabaster. And just outside the temple here, there's a lot of alabaster factories. But they will tell you, when they sell you their little knickknacks and trinkets, they're using steel tools, high-powered steel tools with just a few hand-powered drills. So how did these people manage to work massive pieces of alabaster if, as they say, there was no electricity? Here's quite an interesting block, as if it's showing all kinds of tools. And you can see these roughly shaped blocks look like they were cast in place. And another one of those incredible large Horus falcon thingies. Wow, another one. They're everywhere here. That one is clearly a vulture. This again is alabaster. Huge chunks of alabaster here, all over the place. And see a modern storeroom. All the workmen's tools here just been left. You can see this incredible corbelled ceiling. These massive cut blocks, sandstone clearly. But the lack of respect. These people are just throwing their tools and their materials here. I wonder if this is one of those bathing pools, like at Dendera for Cleopatra. You can see again those keystone marks in the blocks, the massive blocks. And this is the courtyard. Various blocks, ancient or modern, it's difficult to tell. These are covered in tooling marks. That one's quite badly broken open. You can see how small the temple is and how badly the bad condition it's in compared to the Ramesses temple quite close to this. Obviously you can see the water marks. And it still has water inside. day like this. It must have been lovely in those days if you could just go and take a dip. Or whether this was actually something to do with electrical power generation. These strange little alcoves, very similar to those alcoves at Saqqara. You can see the salt marks on the walls, so obviously the level of the water has been this high at times. The water's filthy. We're quite away from the Nile here, but it seems that most of the temples have pumping equipment, pumping the water out, so they were obviously designed to have some kind of water or aquatic feature. This brickwork looks more Roman than ancient Egyptian. Here we are making our way back into the temple, but from the side. That's the toilet trailer there, which are surprisingly clean. And obviously necessary if you're out and about all day, because there's no public toilets anywhere else. So here we go now inside the temple. In fact, we're going to go and try the front door. See the rest of the capitals coming along here. You see how these capitals are cut into the base with that circle, and were, I think, supposed to be full of water at some stage. See the remnants of the colour. And again another duck up there, obviously quite symbolic for Seti the First. To get the blue pigment, they used to grind up lapis lazuli and use it as paint. You can see these circular holes, for whatever reason they were.